This is the day known as
Roll
Call
Friday.
Welcome to
Is
the
that too loud?
Phoenix
People looked
Convention
over.
Center
Uh-oh.
as we
Hey,
are.
there's Shames. Shames, you're next. Attaboy. Shames, you're next.
Well, we're obviously
Oh, my
live and we
goodness.
are rolling. We've got a ton of things to get to, and out of the gate, we come out firing.
Oh, my goodness.
Meghan Payton joining us here.
Right off the
live,
top.
Right at the top.
There we go.
How
Man,
are you?
man.
What is
Hi,
going on?
Meghan.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Is this old hat for you, or is, like, what is this like for you to be here?
It's so fun. I mean, it's like always like a wild week, and I really love, like, I feel like the more and more time you spend in the industry, it's so fun because you see people that you know, so it's like
Yes.
a big reunion.
Yeah.
We got to shout out Eric Garcia because
Woo!
that's who brought us
Yes,
together.
E, as known as E.
That's
Yep.
what I
Yes.
call him, yeah.
That's our E.
I feel like he can do everything from
Oh,
producing
goodness,
graphics.
yeah.
Like he's
My
been,
former student at UNLV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
I.
he told
That's
me.
how I discovered one Mr. Eric Garcia. So yes,
Mm.
thank you for Eric for putting us together.
Yes.
Are you? Does this make you want to do more content, or did it make you run from our business, going, "This is awful"?
Oh, it makes me run to it. Like
Okay.
I love doing it. Like I'm like, hey, anyone need someone to come on? Like I'd love to talk.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
well, you're in
yeah.
the right place.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's a fun spot.
this place
Yeah.
could, power generators. So much wind gets blowing around in here.
Oh
So
Ooh.
a lot. So how many times have you been asked about your dad?
Actually, not as much as you would think.
Really?
No,
Wow.
I went on a couple Denver shows
Yeah.
and talked a little bit about it, but
Right.
no. Other than that, I've
Are you
just
look-
been
look-
given
looking
out.
forward to going to the winter times in the Rocky Mountains?
So I hadn't gone to Denver ever until we just did the press conference last
Right.
week, and it really seems like a cool city. I'm so excited to like dive into the culture. They've got a great fan base.
Where
and
did
I'm
you
gonna-
grow up?
I spent most time in New Orleans and Texas, so I'm not used to like
You
snow.
know,
But we
man,
landed,
it's- oh,
and I
boy.
saw, and
Welcome
I
to
was
the
so
cold.
excited though. I mean, because having not like seen it, it's like a kid seeing the ocean for the first time. You're like,
I
whoa,
guess, right?
you
That's
know?
a West Coast or a Southern
Oh, yeah.
Southern kid.
Oh yeah.
I
So
never
I'm gonna
really
get like
thought
a
of
cool,
that.
like
Right,
navy
okay.
puffy coat,
I
Big
mean, when
puffy coat.
a beanie.
Gotta get it.
when you land in Denver, one of the cool things, the Rocky Mountains are all like 360 around the airport. So
It's
if you're
gorgeous.
not if you're not used to it, you land and you're like, oh my gosh, like, this is
Okay.
incredible. It's
Okay.
a really beautiful airport, but it's really far away from everything. Airport is like out there
Right.
at Denver, but it's beautiful when you land.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm from Texas. It's
Right.
flat in Texas, so I'm looking like.
Oh, okay.
beautiful
Okay.
there.
You're seeing
That's a good change.
all of
Yeah.
it. Are you going to be spending time in Denver? Or are you going to be going back and forth? Like, how do you anticipate rolling with that?
Well, me and my fiance live out in LA, so I'm sure we'll be going to as many home games as possible.
Right.
But it's
Yeah,
it's
you
an
know a
easier
guy
flight.
can get you tickets. That's
I
really
know.
good, right?
He's got a lot of friends. Hopefully, I make the
AFC
list.
West, though, you have a home game at least.
That's what I was saying.
Oh,
Yeah, and
nice.
Vegas. Come out to
Right.
Vegas. Would be
right,
fun
right.
once a
Yes,
year.
yes.
So the AFC West has some fun locations. Tough division, but some fun locations. So I'm excited
yeah.
for that.
You said, I mean,
I don't know.
one of your dad's main opponents are in this game on Sunday.
Yeah, so we're not rooting for the Chiefs. We're rooting for the Eagles, and we've actually made bets to
Oh.
go with that.
Yes?
So luckily, you know what's so funny is I thought that the Eagles were going to win before we even really like knew that we were going to Denver. So now I'm like I'm glad that that was like who I was backing.
Okay.
So I didn't have to like go against the Broncos first weekend.
Right. So, I mean, you were in LA last year,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah,
saw
you were
all
too. Yeah,
this,
we-
right? We were there. Spent a little time together at the
Yes.
All-Star game in summer in
Oh,
LA.
yes,
That's
yep,
right. You
yep.
remember that. You're well versed now
Yeah.
for a newbie back then
Yeah.
in the gambling space.
And it's been so fun.
It's been fun.
I love it. I love it.
But people want to know what you like on Sunday.
yeah.
Side Eagles you're rooting for.
Side Eagles.
Total
Under.
over under.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I've said.
Tell us why,
I'll tell you
Megan.
why. If you like the Chiefs, take the over.
Yep.
If you like the Eagles, take the under. Because
Yep.
if the Eagles are going to win this thing, it's because their ground game's fantastic and the game slows down. They're creating pressure at Patrick Mahomes, that pass defense, and it's going to be a lower score. I'm not going to say it's a
Okay.
low-scoring game. It's
Right.
going to be lower.
Yep.
Okay.
If the Chiefs are going to win this game, it's going to be because Patrick Mahomes goes crazy and is throwing
So he
touchdowns
wins
and
the
connect-
MVP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think so.
Is there anyone else on the Chiefs that could win the MVP, in your opinion, if
Kelsey.
the Chiefs win? That's the only
That's
other
the
one,
only
right?
other one on, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would say. But here's a sleeper MVP for the
Whoa,
Eagles.
what?
I'm not saying take it and put a lot of money
No,
on
no,
it.
but give it to us.
Hassan Reddick. 19 and a half
Are we going to
sacks.
go with this defensive thing again? You
Maybe.
think so?
No,
I don't hate it.
Just a flyer bet.
That's a
it's
flyer.
a flyer
bet.
bet.
I'm
Okay,
not saying
that's
I
fine.
think it's
All
going to
right,
happen.
all right,
It's just
all
a
right,
fun
all right.
one.
So
That's
the
fine.
last defensive MVP was a Bronco, right?
It was Von Miller.
Yeah, it was a Bronco. It was Von Miller.
It's the game against
yeah.
the Panthers.
So she should.
Yeah.
That's a good bet. You just
That's
correlate it. You go with the dad and the coach.
That-
and
There you go.
that
I didn't
actually-
even think of that. Yeah, you're right.
it's a correlated
hello.
bet, right? Your dad's the coach of the Broncos, and
Wow.
you get the last Bronco to get a defense
Wow.
in the Super Bowl. Von Miller.
There
It's
you go.
It ties. It
We've
makes-
had 2 people mention that game, that Denver Carolina game,
Yep.
and the Seattle Denver game. The
Yep.
way, can you see a blowout in this game, or do you think this is going to be a close, competitive game?
I think it'll be close.
Yeah?
I mean, of course, injury
He wants
aside,
to lay 6.5 with the Eagles, the
Wow.
alternate line. What do you think?
I don't love it. 3 maybe.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But like, these are 2 fantastic teams. Now, really, what you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at is an Eagles team that's better, like with their offensive line. They're better in pretty much every measure except for their quarterback. So you're asking Patrick Mahomes to be the star of the show, which he can be, and then you've got an Eagles team that is just really good in every aspect, in
Yes.
every
Yes.
area. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be pretty close.
But you just said in every aspect, the
Yeah.
Eagles are better,
yes,
and they have a complete team.
they do.
And the Eagles are playing a team that has a great quarterback, but some questionable.
But a
issues.
great quarterback is an understatement.
Okay.
They're playing against
All-time great.
an all-time great
Who's
quarterback.
got 3 injured receivers.
Oh.
And, hey, this is why I like the Eagles to win. Absolutely.
There you go.
But we've seen the way that the Chiefs have been able to connect with random receivers. I
Yeah,
mean, it's been
sure.
more than, and then
Next
you
guy
see,
up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco. If
Yep.
they're able to get a run game going, that's really going to help Kansas City. I don't know if they will
No.
be able to.
No.
But and then you look at coaching too. I mean, Andy Reid
Yes.
is a fantastic offensive mind that
Yes.
has been here before, knows how to look at situational football and call games accordingly.
He's going to throw a trick play, isn't he not?
I would hope so.
Yeah. I mean, like, Kelsey's throwing a pass. Like something
crazy.
Something
Oh.
crazy's
I
happening.
like
Hello.
that.
Hello.
Ooh, what are
Over
the-
2.5 players to throw a pass in the game is plus 170 today.
Oh,
I like it.
that's a fun angle.
Yeah,
Right?
I like it.
It can be anybody.
It can be anyone.
Yes.
It can be
Doesn't have to
anyone.
be the backup quarterback. It can be
And it could be
Kelsey or
Sirianni calling
something.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He-
right.
I mean,
Because
this is what I'm
it's-
saying. This
Philly
is
Special 2.0.
absolutely.
Where does Meghan Payton watch the game on Sunday? Are you at home?
I'm going
back
home.
You'll be back
Yeah.
home
Headed back
on the
tomorrow,
couch.
On the couch. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Order the wings, chicken fingers. I got some friends
what
coming
flavor
over.
wings?
Buffalo.
Yes.
Just straight buffalo.
Just straight buffalo.
Spicy.
She
I'll go
knows.
a little bit spicy. I don't want it too much, but
Okay,
like
okay.
we don't need to go mild either.
Okay,
You grew up
fair.
in New Orleans and in
Yeah.
Texas. You need
Right.
spice.
I'm
You need
used to the
spice.
Cajun
Yeah.
flavor.
Okay,
Tex-
right. All right.
Tex-Mex.
Come on, I lived down
Okay.
there too.
Yeah,
Like,
you
like
guys know.
it ruined me because I grew up in New England and people used to go, "Your food is so bland,"
Yeah.
and I would go, "Come
Oh.
on, no." And then I moved to the
Right.
South and I went, "Holy shit,
Our food's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
bland.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is bland.
our food is tasteless."
People were
Like,
right.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
They are right. I mean,
Yeah,
New England
tastes like
food
shit.
is
Yeah.
no, it doesn't taste
Well,
like shit.
I mean,
It
it's
tastes like
it's
shit
just-
because you can adjust it so it tastes better, but it
It's
is
very
bland.
bland.
Naturally.
Naturally
Right,
bland.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah,
clam
yeah.
chowder's naturally,
Naturally
bland.
bland.
You got to add stuff to it to make it taste better. Is there a go-to non-wing you have to have drink? Is there
Ooh.
something you must have during a game?
Well, I think just for like the mojo, for good luck, I might get myself like an old school lemon lime Gatorade because I'm on the yellow green.
Wow.
Are you?
I am.
Do you have inside information?
All the inside information.
Oh.
I mean,
Look
like,
out.
I'm kidding.
how many
Look
times,
out.
like, seriously, but people ask you that all the time, right?
Right.
Like,
It's
you
so
gotta
funny
know.
though. People would, I guess, in people's mind, they assume that I would have. I definitely. I don't know how I could have any insider for this game,
Right.
but I mean, even games where my dad's coaching,
Right.
it's not like he's calling me up. He's like, "All right, Megan, like here's the deal.
Right.
So and
right.
so's this," and I'm
Right.
like, "No," but. I'm going yellow green because the last time that happened, it was when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Ah.
I like looking at
Okay.
colors with the teams that are going to win. So this
Fair.
all goes into the Eagles winning this game. Last year was blue. The Rams are blue.
Oh, okay.
And it's only hit 3 times.
So if you like the Chiefs, are you saying to bet the red?
Maybe, yeah, or orange.
Okay.
Orange.
All right.
Interesting. Are you betting the anthem?
I would look at the over on the anthem. It's Chris Stapleton,
Yep.
country. He's a slow singer.
He is, but don't.
Oh.
Here's my fear: is that he gets in and out because he doesn't have the big voice that
Ah.
we're used to.
This is
Hold
what
the
he's
notes.
going with.
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because the song generally is about a minute and 45 seconds if you sing it
Sure.
properly, right? Then you get the runs and you get the ups and the downs, and then so it's the holding of the notes.
Yeah.
That's what pushes it over. I don't know. If you,
That's a good. You know what? I might change my mind now.
Okay.
You know, there's a prop. I don't know if you can still bet on it, but how long the Brave is?
Yep. It's
I don't know.
ridiculous, but yeah.
What was the number? I think
I
it was
have
like
no
maybe
idea,
10.
but
I don't
I know
know.
you can
It
bet
was-
it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it would be short.
Yeah, you're right. Because you
I-
got to hold that note, and he's got a great voice, but he doesn't
does.
have like
The
this
power.
isn't Carrie Underwood.
Correct. It's not like he's not looking for it either,
Yeah,
right?
no.
He's not known. He's known for singing about Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
So he's not really known about singing these big, huge. I was surprised it was him to sing it. To be quite honest, it's like Rihanna got. I think it's because Rihanna's voice is so incredible at halftime. It's like we got to go just get the country fans involved with the anthem, and then we let everybody else. Are you excited for Rihanna?
I'm excited for Rihanna, and I'm excited for Chris Stapleton. I'm from Texas, so I'm a country girl.
Oh,
so I
all
like,
Is he
you know what?
country to you?
Yeah, I think so.
He's so blues to me.
Yeah,
He's
you're right.
bluesy country. I love Chris Stapleton. He's phenomenal.
Country.
But
What
he's
are we
he- but-
doing here
So
right
maybe that's
now?
why they got him, is because he's blues and country, adapting to more people. The
Amen.
NFL
Amen.
is always one a step ahead of
I
us.
agree.
Megan, the chat is lighting up. They want to know if you're a fan of Old Bay seasoning with anything,
Why?
like whether it's fries or.
They think
because she's-
they think you're from Maryland. They don't understand.
No,
It's-
Bay- what's
it's-
Old Bay
it's-
It's a
seasoning?
Maryland
All right.
thing.
Did I know that?
All right.
No,
No, you should
It's a
not. All
Maryland
right, that's
thing.
fine.
No,
I don't even
black
know
and
what's
chicken,
going
like
on.
the Cajun,
All right,
like
yeah.
Cajun flavoring.
Yeah.
There's-
It's
there
not
could-
Cajun flavoring, guys. It's Old Bay seasoning is not.
That's
No.
not
Cajun
North.
flavor.
That's
Oh,
Maryland.
That's what you put on
Maryland.
shrimp.
Yeah.
That's
So you
nothing
put on
to
shrimp.
do
You
with
put
it.
on crabs. That's
Maybe I'd
Maryland's.
like it though. I mean, I
It is
kind of like
good.
all seasoning. I'm really
Okay.
It is good, but it's not what you're accustomed to in New Orleans. Have you ever had a Sazerac?
no,
Oh my! You grew up in New Orleans, no
I've never
Sazerac.
had one.
How about a slow gin fizz?
nope.
Whoa, we're
I
gonna.
feel like I really
You
do
got
because
time for
I know
Yes.
I gotta go back and like I gotta.
You weren't of age. My daughter,
Right.
our kids are raised in Vegas.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
my daughter's 8 years old, and I take her to things that people fly across the country to go to, and I'm always like, "This is a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I'm ruining you. Like,
I'm ruining
You're absolutely gonna be like this. Whatever town she moves to, like this is
Well,
boring.
Speaking of ruining things, I mean, you grew up with your dad as
Yeah.
a coach of an NFL team. Like, do you like going to games still, or is it just like old hats?
No, I love going to games. I'll say this: it was interesting this year not having like a team to root for, so I didn't go to any NFL games this year.
Okay.
Which was the first time in my entire life that I
Wow.
wasn't at a game.
Right.
So I really got into more like college because my brother works in the scouting department at TCU. Happened to be the best year
what
ever.
a year to be that!
So I was a horn frog this whole season.
How much fun was that?
Incredible. It was an
Oh,
incredible. I mean, of
that's
course,
great.
it
Other
ended
than the end,
other
right,
than
yeah,
the terrible
right,
ending.
right.
Oh, they got there though. I mean,
They
that's
got there. That
amazing
Michigan
run.
game?
Oof.
Oof. I mean, the one
Impressive.
here,
Shocking.
that Michigan game was great.
Oh, that's
Shocking.
awesome.
Were you a college fan growing up of any school?
No, not really. You know what? I went to Pepperdine and there's no football there, so I
Okay.
really.
But you look at the Pacific Ocean. I always wonder, how do Pepperdine students study? How do you guys focus on anything but what your campus looks like?
Well, I think they specifically make the classrooms windows like facing the other way.
Yes.
Maybe that's why.
It's
but
gorgeous.
No, it's really pretty. They have a great media program. So there was no football tailgates, but lots of journalism and
Yes.
that stuff
Yes.
and views.
I teach at UNLV, and that's what
Right.
that's what I tell them too. That like, okay, so the football program stinks, but you can still go cover
Of course.
college football
Yes.
or college
Absolutely.
basketball
Yeah.
and get the repetitions and figure it out, and then go on to programs that actually have fans.
Totally, lots of people at Pepperdine would go in like USC, UCLA, the whole 9 yards.
Any other prop bets you like?
All right, so I told you Miles Sanders. Did
Yep.
we go over that one?
No,
Did-
we
oh,
did
we
not.
didn't. All right, so okay, I'm getting confused on what I've said,
It's fine.
but
Mini shows.
Miles Sanders leading rusher. It's at plus money. I think you can get it at plus
Okay.
170.
Yep.
Now I like him his over to hit. So
Overall
59.
for the
Yeah.
game, or just the Eagles leading
No,
rusher? Overall for the game. Okay. Okay.
Because I'm taking Miles Sanders over 59.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
But you're not going to get fantastic value on
No,
that. It's a
right,
you
yes,
know, it's
yeah.
a
Right.
typical
Right.
bet. It's one of my only overs that I'm taking.
Okay.
And it's because we've seen Miles Sanders 11 times this season hit over. The reason he hasn't been hitting over as much has been because they've been blowing teams
Blowing
out.
teams
I mean,
out,
last
yep.
week they were blowing out, or 2 weeks ago, blowing out the Niners. And I expect Sanders to be a huge part in this game. And even though Jalen Hurts is healthy, I don't know if he'll run, But they might not run him as much as you
Right,
think because
right.
you don't want to knock him out. Miles Sanders is going to be heavily involved, so I'm taking over 59.5 rushing yards. But I am going to also, to get some value on some plus money, take him as the leading rusher for the game.
For the game, okay.
I don't hate that.
It's the first time someone said that. I love it.
Well, it's not because Kenneth Gainwell's been the everyone's sitting down. It's
goodness
all about
gracious.
Gainwell. It's a
Oh.
little bit nuts.
But that's
Enough.
what's nuts is because Gainwell's been fantastic, but it's mostly been whenever Sanders has been out
done.
because they're
Yep.
winning by 14-21.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And
Which could happen.
Which I could happen, but if you think this is going to be a close game, then you're looking at Sanders to take a majority of the carries. Because why are we keeping?
Yeah.
Why are we taking him out?
I have 27-17 vibes in this game.
Yeah.
And I just think it's going to be an Eagles win. That's why I think 6.5 and the under. I think are the two plays that I like. If it goes to a high-scoring game, you're totally right with Patrick Mahomes in the over. What about McKinnon touchdowns? What about going on that route if you like a high-scoring to sprinkle on some guys who have had major, not last week or the week before, but in the regular season, had a lot of usage?
That's a good call there. Another anytime touchdown that Boston Scott.
Yes.
Maybe we're not seeing him hit his over on rushing yards because
Right.
but the goal line, he's been a player that they've used a decent amount.
It's weird. Against the Giants, his numbers are so skewed. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
He scored almost he did. The majority of his touchdowns were scored against the Giants. So maybe there's an NFC East thing that you could go
Sure.
with it. Maybe they'll go ahead and run here. Bet the Eagles. This game to me in the first half is going to tell us so much because the Eagles are so good in the first half.
Absolutely. So maybe you take an over on the first half. I haven't looked at
It's
that.
24.5.
24.5?
Yeah, for the first half over.
Nah,
It's a
I
little
don't like that.
little
That's too high.
It's a little steep. No score in the first 6 minutes is an interesting play because we like the under.
Yeah.
So we want this game to get off to a little bit of a slower
Who
start.
likes the under?
I like the under.
I
like
like
the
the under.
over.
You do.
Because you like Chiefs winning or you like Eagles winning?
I like Eagles winning and the over.
Eagles. All right.
Yeah,
likes
I'm
the
all
over.
So are you
confused.
are you going to look at receivers over props like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith?
No, I think they run, but I don't know who does it.
But if the
Yeah.
Eagles run,
That's the
you like the
confusing
over
part.
with the Eagles running the
Yeah,
ball.
because they'll get up and then the Chiefs will
Come
have to
back.
pass and score and come back. Yeah, I mean 27-24, 28-24,
Yeah.
31-24. Those are all very possible numbers. That's
really-
where I'm at.
It's hard. It's so easy to create this script, create this game plan, and think there's no other way that this could happen.
Right.
But you're
Right.
absolutely right. The Eagles could run the ball, and Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball, and we could see a high-scoring
Yeah,
game.
that's-
And I mean, and you never know. So
That's
you just
betting.
have to sometimes come up. I've been saying this over and over again. You kind of have to just come up with your plan, how you imagine the game to kind of play out, and then find bets that match that.
Amen.
I mean,
bet the narrative that you
bet
lay
the
out.
narrative.
That's
I totally agree. Megan, for folks that want to find out where to follow you and get your
Look right in that
podcast,
camera
where
and
can
tell
they
them.
find your stuff?
Over on Twitter, I'm at Meghan Payton 7, and we were mentioning Eric Garcia. He is producing new podcast that we're doing called Payton's Play. New episode's going to be dropping tomorrow, Super Bowl 57 edition. Hopefully, we'll get these two on the podcast. Going to be
Excellent.
that after
Yes,
the show.
for sure.
Let's do it.
And
We're in.
and
I'm
Wager
in.
Talk TV over there at wagertalk.com. But I appreciate you guys having me on
I have to ask, why the 7 on the handle?
because Meghan Payton was taken, and I got this years ago, and now I don't know how to get it. I've tried DMing.
No,
it.
they won't answer.
I'm
No,
weird
you
about
just want the
numbers,
7.
so 247. 7 is one of my numbers, so I just ask why
I
the
don't
7.
Really, it's so embarrassing.
random.
My email too. I
It
don't.
works.
I mean,
That's okay. It works.
Favorite number?
maybe when I was young. So I guess now it is. Sure.
Just randomly 7. Just give it to me. I'm good. Megan, thank you so much.
Awesome.
It's Meghan Payton joining us here.